Honestly.
Just brick it completely.
Yeah, no, mate, that's all right. I'll do that.
As I went live too, thanks Peter. Right, we're back in action here. Is Peter from Australia's trying to wreck my gear?
I am not.
That's right, mate. Just take a good look at that camera and you'll notice that there's been better damage done to that than what you were trying to do.
Mate, we're right on top of it here. We're just implementing different ways
Filming
of
techniques and
testing out the gear.
Right, so we do apologise for the technical issues that meant the last over of Court Short's innings wasn't able to be brought. It has been recorded. I'll upload it later on. Farani Taylor Stallions, they are in chase of 242 for the win. They are 3 without loss. One ball left in the Kavanagh over. Called wide. So we'll bowl that again. Burhan Mahmood on strike on 2. And run Kadir. He's on 2 as well at the non-striker end. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens from here. As just knocked down third man, ending the first over, 5 without loss. My name is Bevan Jenkinson. Good to have you wherever you are tuning in to this. Good old technology just sometimes doesn't play ball. Let us know where you're tuning in from on this Wednesday evening. We're here in Auckland Central. Farani Taylor Stallions, I think #1 in the world. Caught short. Farani Taylor Stallions, they're from the UK. The caught short team here from Auckland, 6th in the world. It's the first ball of the second over from Hards, just into the legs and no run. So it's an impressive total from caught short. 50s from Dwayne Pitcher, Victor Davies and Jared Hards. It's the third ball from Hards, flipped to the leg side. Only one man back there and it'll be 4 runs. First boundary from the Stallions. And Mahmood moves on to 7. As this pulled around to Pitcher, who takes it quite casually. Another run to the scoreboard though. And the Stallions, they are requiring 12.6 and over from here. I'll need to up their scoring rate before this gets over the top of them. That one will help big time. Just over Dwayne Pitcher's head. 6 runs. And Imran Kadir now on 8 off 3. Burhan Mahmood has the same score but off 7 deliveries. Last ball of the second over, and this one's wide. Just cut down to third man. They take a single, and 17 without loss after 2. This is definitely the over the Stallions needed. Chasing 240. Kavanagh going to be bowling his second over. Those are his last man stands bowling statistics. I think 76 in the world for bowling. And that shows why. Nothing that Kadir can do about that. And the next ball is full wide, and it's 1 bounce 4. Nothing that the fielder can do about that one. believe that might have been Victor Davies out there on the point boundary.
Yeah. That's all right. Well, you
Next
chose it
ball.
now. I'm just letting him know.
Is bowled. I'll take a single as the keeper's having to run round. And with one ball left on the third over, it's 22 without loss.
Oh, Jeremy 5.
Yes, pulls round to fine leg. It'll be 4 runs. Well played there. And the Stallions just staying within touch at the moment. 26 without loss after 3, chasing 242 for the win.
Person that's been assigned as umpire to game, then all good. Auckland Central, yeah.
See, first ball of the 4th. It's full. And a single to long on. And the next one is
So if you want to let him know,
the delivery once more from
what I
Hart.
can probably do is next to
No, that's not hard. Yes, it is hard bowling, sorry. 14 off it in his second over. Again, Stallions are just letting this required run rate creep up. As that is high on the bat, it is going to land safe of Dwayne Pitcher. What's going on here, Peter?
Just thought I'd welcome myself to the commentary, mate. You know,
Yeah, I noticed you sneaking in.
As two people that have commentated some of LMS's finest cricketers in the true Australian and New Zealand fashion, I thought I would sneak in while we're having a look at the new streaming technology that LMS has got as well.
That is great.
The fine work that you're doing. So
Yep. Yeah, Ross Carwood was saying that you guys were trying to jack up something earlier on, and it was all a bit French what Ross was trying to ask me.
well,
And
there's
this
the
is
6
big,
coming our way,
and
big 6.
my car's in a bit of trouble again, I think.
I'm fortunate that I flew in today, mate. So no damage for cars for me today.
Well, that's good. Had to drive up State Highway 1 from Hamilton.
From the
And
Tron.
From the Tron.
Oh, my wife's from Cambridge, so
Okay, that's the reason why you know it's called the Tron then.
I do know why it's called the Tron. It's the city of the future.
Yes, that's what they say. There's plenty that disagree with that though. 35 without loss after 4, and another boundary off the last ball of an over.
It's been some incredible hitting out here today, mate.
There's been some big ones, and last week when I was commentating and live streaming a T20 game with the Barmy Army from England, there was 1 or 2 that were in danger of hitting me, but I started to get a bit peppered here tonight.
You're not name dropping there, are you?
No.
I'm name dropping by saying I'm actually here with the Court Short Boys. You
Oh,
know,
well,
the best of the UK and the best of New Zealand.
That is a great match to have been organised.
Absolutely.
And it's a match that both teams, I'm sure, will quite enjoy having a week out from World Championships.
You're on TV, streamed around the world.
Who says men can't multitask, Peter?
Well, my wife mostly, I would say, but possibly my boss. I'm not sure. No.
Sharma's second ball. Hit round to extra cover. They've taken 2, and they'll get there. Quite good running there from Kadir and Mahmood.
Is it Kadir or Carter?
I'm not 100% sure, Peter.
Yep.
I went with one and was going to stick with it, is all. Sometimes with commentary, that's what you got to do, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, this is proving to be almost as fun as the first time I got to commentate in the UK. So
that's good.
I'm loving it. Have you pushed that kit? This one?
That's good. Disconnected it. The penultimate ball is high. There's no man out there though. It's the great thing about last man stands having 6 fielders. They pick up 2. Well, going back to the name thing, Peter, I've done a bit of ground announcing, and it was an Auckland versus Wellington one-day match. As this one's just bunted back over the bowler, I'll pick up a single.
Oh no!
Oh, there's going to be overthrows, and I'll pick up 2 off the last ball. 46 now without loss after 5 overs. So yeah, I was doing Auckland versus Wellington, and I had a few troublesome names in there. Got them right. The one name I couldn't get right though was Lockie Johns.
Lockie Johns.
It was such a difficult name to pronounce.
It sounds like.
And everyone was having a good laugh about it. The ones that realised it, I kept going to say Jones instead of Johns. Yeah. And the only time I got it right was when he got out.
Yeah. I'm sure he appreciated that.
I'm sure he did.
Sure he did.
I'd love to talk to a few of the players in that match to see if they remember it.
Right, I'm over the wicket, flicked through mid-wicket. You'll know these players better than me. I love the... sorry, not stealing your thunder there, was I?
No.
I'm sorry. Oh, dear.
I'd rather you steal the thunder out of the sky, though, that I think Auckland had a couple of days ago.
Absolutely.
This one is high, pitches underneath it, takes it quite comfortably. No steal on offer either. And that sees the end of Burhan Mahmood, gone for 23 off 14. So sorry, Peter, you were saying?
Oh, no, I don't think it was.
No, you went? Okay, fair enough.
No, I think the interesting thing for me is the weather here in New Zealand. It's certainly been, people used to talk about Melbourne being 4 seasons in one day. I'm certainly experiencing here in New Zealand everything that you've got to offer in a very short window.
Well, if you're not sure, the Crowded House song 4 seasons in one day was written by Neil Finn in his apartment in Auckland because he was sick of seeing it.
But Crowded House is an Australian band.
Is it? I hadn't noticed. I'm sure on my notes here it says Kiwi. You can't have an Australian and Kiwi commentary without bringing up what's Kiwi and what's not, eh?
Yeah, or underarm bowling, or sandpaper, I believe, is my experience in New Zealand cricket. So
yeah, well, sandpaper's the new flavour.
Yep, absolutely.
Really looking forward to this Boxing Day test. Keep trying to think what I'm going to do on Boxing Day, and then realise no. From the afternoon, yep. I'm comfortable.
There's only one thing to do, I think, this Christmas, and that's get ready for the Boxing Day test.
Yep.
I think it's one of the things that, if there's ever been a better time for Australia and New Zealand to be playing cricket, it's got to be now. And I'd love to see more of it in the next few years. But
both teams are really on top at the moment.
Yeah.
Pakistan not really performing that well over in Australia, and
but you've got to say some individual efforts from Pakistan. But a very junior bowling lineup who. They were expecting a lot of against, a team that's playing at home. I mean, it was a tougher agenda.
It was typical of Pakistan, You're just never sure what's going to show up. And you just didn't really improve that much. So this ball's down to wide long off for a single.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the 3 test match series is 1-1 after the first 2 tests, and that, some people won't want that, but...
The great thing is, for me, is it's 3 tests. It's not 2, it's not 1, no. It's 3.
Yeah, I mean, but what's to stop us, though, from having this be a 5 test series and have 2 here and 3 in Australia, or vice versa? I mean, that to me would have been as good as the Ashes at the moment.
These days, the only 5 test series you're going to have is the Ashes, and against India, I believe.
Oh, absolutely, but that and there it's coming straight towards us. That
not
should
a
be
reach,
caught.
Though.
Yes, great catch.
Oh,
what a catch!
He's taking it eventually.
Oh boy, more juggling than at the circus for that one. But
Peter,
boy.
you heard how comfortable you said he'd taken it, so he decided to make it a little bit more difficult. That sees the end of Tanweer Sikandar.
Oh, looking, he's got the high five coming out there as well.
Gets it from the little boy. That is good stuff.
That's fantastic.
Sikandar gone 3 off 4 deliveries. Caught Meanhorst, bowled Davies. 52 for 2, and
Meanhorst with a mean catch.
Oh,
really.
It was.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now I was going back to the great series that we've got coming up. with New Zealand and Australia, I'll try and make it the last thing I bring up, is the fact that the last time New Zealand played a Boxing Day Test match against Australia, we had our hearts dashed by one Mike Whitney. And I say to a lot of people, and they go, "Who's Mike Whitney?" And I go, "Have you ever watched Who Dares Wins?" And they go, "That guy."
That guy. And the funny thing about Mike Whitney, though, is if you think about the start of his career, when he first started taking wickets, he was called into the squad for an Ashes tour in England last minute, and then took an absolute bag full of wickets that year, and that sort of set his career off. So I can tell you, if you get a chance to listen to him speak, he is one of the most engaging speakers that you'll hear. So
he always comes across as someone with a lot of personality, and I mean, to have how famous Who Dares Wins was, you got to have someone with personality, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the funny thing about Wits is that he featured.
Oh, that's a great delivery and a brilliant take by Kane Story behind the wickets.
Wits featured in a very prominent beer campaign in Australia for many, many years in New South Wales, and that featured him and Joel Garner, and it was sort of
that's a good partnership.
Absolutely. How do you feel when you face Big Joel for the final pill? Was the tagline, and he did fantastic work in that, just off the back of his original campaigns.
We're at Cox's Bay Reserve at the moment, which is not that far from Auckland Central. You can certainly see the Sky Tower peering up there. It's a single down to third man. Now, I'm not sure, you might know, Peter, who it was either Australian or English fast bowler, and he was asked about pressure, and I'm assuming it was some guy that played in the late 40s, early 50s, and he said, "Pressure, try having a Messerschmitt behind you." He was a RAF fighter.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, carry on, mate.
I was going to say, it's one of those things, isn't it? Because often people talk about it being a battle or a war, and the reality is it's not.
No.
It's a game of cricket, and we want to play as hard as we can, but some of those guys from the 70s and 80s that played cricket for Australia and New Zealand, I think, have got it right in the sense that...
Oh, that's a great hit.
It's going to be another...
It is! Oh, Kavanagh's gone with the one hand.
Oh, geez. We've got the court short fan crew on the boundary there. I think, if you look back to that sort of period, they had a lot more to battle with. I mean, this is about two countries coming together. I mean, the guys from the 70s and 80s said, come and have a beer, get it sorted, and we'll play on the day.
So 62 for 2 with that 4. 2 balls into the 8th over, and required run rate 14.3. As this one is going out towards the boundary, some good sliding along the field there from pitcher. Single taken.
I've got to tell you, though, this is one of the best venues I've been at, with that view out there to Auckland Harbour, and then back onto what's seriously one of the best LMS venues I've seen.
Well, we play it. It is high. It is just over the rope. Another 6 for the over. The first ball was originally called a 4, but it's been noted down as a 6. Yeah, in Hamilton we play at the lake, so we have a similar scenery, not quite as good as this one though. It starts to back away, does Kawaja, but he gets it single down to...
Well, this summer we're...
long on, and single taken, 71 for 2 after 8 overs.
You wanted me to disconnect? Okay.
17 coming off that over. It's a very profitable one there for what?
Successful. Sorry, mate.
No. I'm trying to multitask as well as ignore you guys.
What's funny thing is that we've got streaming going in multiple venues. We've got commentary going.
Oh, Craig bowled, and what a sight for a bowler at his middle stump out of the ground. And beautiful delivery there sees the end of Ahmed Khawaja gone. Bowled Davies for 18, two 6s in his 8-ball innings.
Well, there's a name who'd feel hard done by this summer as well, Khawaja,
yes.
Missing out in the Australian team.
But when you got Labuschagne batting the way he does.
Absolutely.
And that happened only because the goat was injured for that one test.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, Victor Davies figures 2 for 4 in his second over, looking pretty healthy. Shabazz Khan, the new batsman.
How are those figures looking for the bowlers there tonight?
Well, 2 for 4 for Davies as he bowls the second of his second over. And they'll take a single. Quite interesting, there's a few dedications taken out to Ross Carwood here by guys playing the sounds in the background. As this one is just bunted down to long on.
2 different sets of support crew here, I think, for Court Short tonight. The family-centric and the adults-only section.
Yes. Not quite sure which is which though, sometimes. As the next ball is full. Can't do anything with that. And a dot ball. 1 ball left in the 9th over. .73 for 3. Run rate's crept over 15 now.
No, I asked the question earlier tonight. What was a fair score here, and I was told 180 is probably is a really good score here. But given what's been put on the park, I would think that
200.
Yeah,
200 is pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
75 for 3 after 9. The Stallions in a bit of trouble chasing 242 for the win.
the best of the UK versus the best of New Zealand. Given I've been here for 12 months now, I'm definitely on the Court Short bandwagon. Everyone loves to see the Poms lose.
Yeah, well, especially after some match back in July.
Absolutely.
Commentating with a few of the Barmy Army guys last week, I did tell them that the only World Cup played this year was the Netball World Cup.
I don't know anything about that World Cup.
You're not sure either?
Don't recall it.
Do you know anything about a Rugby World Cup? That was nothing.
Was there one this year?
Apparently.
I'm not aware of it. No.
I'm sure Ross will know something about a Rugby World Cup being played this year, don't you, Ross?
I do have to say though, if I see him again, I did think that I saw Michael Checker walking into the ground earlier today, so maybe he's found a new job here in New Zealand. I'm not sure.
A bit of a lap coming in here. Hasn't really got anything on that, but enough for a league bye. Yeah, I'm sure Ross was happy on 2 occasions when the English beat the All Blacks. And then his country of origin, South Africa, then beating England. I think a lot of people were more happy about South Africa beating England, though. As the next shot down to long off for a single. Daniel Gardner, I'm sure you're comparing talking about my comment about this ground in the Hamilton Lake. I'll definitely agree with you on that one.
I wonder if that's the same Daniel Gardner I know that's a Kiwi that plays indoor cricket in Canberra, or just another random Daniel Gardner. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll have to wait and find out. I'm sure he can tell us. 78 for 3 after 10, and the run rate is just really getting away from the Stallions here. 3 off that over. From memory, Court Short were 120 for 1, so they're certainly struggling here, the Stallions. Bit of advice being given from the adult section of the crowd tonight.
They haven't been afraid to say what they thought the whole way through.
That's what's good about Last Man Stand. You can have a bit of banter and just, and as long as there is always a line, like in everything, there's always a line, and very rarely is it crossed. It's one of those great I'm reading 2 different things there. Great things about Last Man Stands.
Yes. Well, it makes you realise that when those guys are doing commentary and they've got someone talking in their ear and something flashing up in front of their eyes, that their powers of concentration are certainly superior sometimes.
As this one's full, leg side, 4 runs, pulled round. That will do quite well, quite nicely there for Kadir. moves
So
on to 35.
I will take advantage though while I am here with you is that you talked about you're playing LMS down there in the Tron.
Yes.
We are looking to get LMS up in the Manawatu this year as well.
Oh yes, that's a
down at
great idea.
Palmerston North.
Yep.
Some fantastic facilities in Palmy. A lot of people, I think, don't give Palmy its dues, but we've got...
Especially John Close. I won't say what he said about Palmy, but as this one's going to bounce short of Eli Meanhorst, and he's missed it completely. And it's 4 runs.
Took an awkward bounce there, and Eli is about 7 foot tall, so
Yeah.
it's a long way to get down there, I think, sometimes. So, but yeah, no. So LMS is coming to Palmy this year. We're looking for teams to join our leagues down there, so that we can, head up to national championships and take on the best. Oh,
That one is round, is it? No, it's in the bread basket.
Super catch.
And he celebrates it as well.
Oh, look at there, the champions have caught short here, coming through.
And another wicket falls for the Stallions. They just needed to keep moving the score along and can't quite. 88 for 4 after 11.
I'm led to believe the Stallions have been here for the last week holidaying in New Zealand. Maybe they've been spending too much time holidaying and weren't preparing for this classic match versus New Zealand's finest.
Well, as good-natured as Court Short is, they really do take their last man stand seriously.
Yeah.
And even though this is only a warm-up for next week's World Champs, they certainly want to go into it with some form.
Absolutely.
Kavanagh coming into bowl as Toto's Africa's playing in the background. Can't say I've ever met someone that does not like that song, or at least know the words, or think they know the words.
Or I think you'll find there's someone on More FM in the Manawatu that doesn't, but
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I should have their job then. Ruckman faces his first delivery, and he'll just take a single. To the offside. Kavanagh in his last over, gone for 19 without success. As a wind up, that is going to come straight underneath my legs, is it? No, great cut off. And it is just a single. And I think part of the Stallions' problems might be actually that they're just stunned by how quickly the Court Short boys are getting around and just cutting those off. And indoor cricket, I know a couple of them play, definitely helps with that. As this one's full.
Just waited on that and then pushed it out there through cover.
Still on my bucket list actually is to play a game of indoor cricket. I like most things in life with me, I'm far better when I'm active and doing something than just sitting there.
Indoor cricket's one of those funny games. Is cricket's had many different variations over the years, and I remember when I was growing up, people saying, if you play indoor cricket, it's going to ruin your outdoor game. Yet now, certainly in Australia, it's part of the pathway for cricketers that are coming through. So
yeah, and we tried. Martin Crowe had a bit of an experiment in the 90s with. I had it just a second ago. The 2 innings 10 over match.
Yep.
It has gone from me.
one bounce to the fielder there at
Milton
long on.
Kavanagh.
Milton had some big hits out there tonight as well.
I can't believe I've forgotten the name of that competition. It was a great little initiative and it just never really took off. Like Last Man Stands has.
Oh,
As this one is straight, one bounce.
4 runs.
4 runs. Ross, what was the name of the Martin Crowe's cricket in the 90s? Max Cricket, thanks Ross Carwood. Kaywood, sorry. Yeah, that's the first time you've corrected me. I'm sure I've said it a few times. I prefer people to correct me actually if I'm saying their name wrong. Right? Wrong?
Right arm around the wicket.
Oh,
beautiful bit of fielding there from the bowler.
yeah. Pitcher showing his indoor skills there. And the dot balls are certainly stacking against the Stallions at the moment. As this one is round right in front of us, but Kavanagh's going to cut it off quite comfortably.
Oh dear.
do understand though, Last Man Stands is a spin-off almost of cricket sixes.
Go back. Very nice.
Last Man Stands originating in England. Sixes really only have that big tournament in Hong Kong. It definitely seems to be very popular. End of 13, 100 for 4.
Well, I think there's been lots of variants of cricket over the years, but one of the things that stands with me is that Last Man Stands has actually managed to stay and be as strong as it has over the last sort of 10 years, and it's a format that I think everyone's gravitating to because it gives you the best of both worlds.
Well, cricket's a stats orientated sport, second only to baseball, in my opinion. And the great thing about Last Man Stands is this one's going to go down to Mean Horse. He takes this one comfortably though. Single taken. Is that Last Man Stands does all that for you. Has world rankings even. And it's great to have that if you are stats orientated.
Oh, absolutely. But the funny thing about that is you'll find that guys who, inside out.
They're just the one though.
You'll find that even guys that I've played with that never had an interest in their own stats, as soon as they see their stats up on the Last Man Stands website, the banter just amplifies. And
definitely.
All of a sudden, guys that were registered number 11s are rabbiting onto their opening partners.
Oh, that was a nasty lifting delivery.
That must have been close to. Oh, yep. Umpires called it one short.
Yep.
Sorry, not one short.
one for the over.
One for the over.
It's caught short, by the way, not one short.
Yeah. Well, you see.
I thought I'd get that one in.
Well, it's funny that probably the greatest, some would argue the greatest team to come out of Canberra was 3 short.
Oh, 3 short.
Another variant on that 8-a-side principle.
I've played in a few 11-a-side games where we have been 3 short, so I totally understand that.
I had a club game many years ago that I was away for the weekend, and we left it to a guy to bring some players along, and he got so wild that night that he woke up in a house, didn't know where he was, forgot to bring him and the other guys, so they played with 7.
Did a boat and Barrett almost by the sound of that.
Mate, they had 499. Just off the hip, punched out through mid-wicket.
Decent looking shot, but might have been looking to do more with that though.
Well, I would have thought that given the way they've been striking the ball, they could have just sort of taken that over the top, but yeah, in that match they had 7 against the top side, and they had 499 put on them in 45 overs. It was.
That's okay. That's an okay score.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been happy as captain coach for not scoring the 500 though.
Well, it was funny at the time that we were lower grade cricketers, but my girlfriend was at the ground and she offered to field for them, and when they wouldn't give her a bowl, she said, "Well, I'm going home."
Why am I here?
Yeah.
Nope, fair call for it. Shabazz Khan on strike, 14 off 16.
Slashed through the covers there.
It's going to get
square of the wicket.
Only a single though. Asking rate just under 23. No, it's just jumped. Now it has jumped over 23. Almost sounds like Wilden Union playing in the background there. As this one is high, there's a couple of fielders underneath it. It's dropped.
Hands to it, but didn't quite get there.
It's unfortunate. It did a great effort getting there. Did a brilliant effort.
I've got no more battery.
And they did take the single. Peter just having to go and just to leave us for a second. 2 balls left on the 15th.
I'm kind of back down to 5%, so it is the World Union.
Yeah, I thought it is Wilden Union. As this one is, it is 6. It's bounced, I think, on the line.
So what was that link?
And that one helps the run rate. Zaida Bass, hoping Pete you are well.
Doing fantastically well, thanks Ziad. Good luck for the Super Series. Oh, big one.
This one is, that one's definitely 6.
6 bits.
Back to back.
Have you downloaded this?
And after 15, 119 for 4, brought back the required run rate
Okay.
just a little bit, but still a tall
Has
order
anyone got
from
a
here.
battery pack here, and then I can plug into that, and then I can get it going again.
Oh yeah, sorry, they pulled it out.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah. No, I heard her say that, and I was like,
And so it is 123 required off the last 25 deliveries. Where's the thing I was charging the phone on? Plug it in there.
Okay.
As this one's gone fine, just be careful though, because my phone's plugged in. And they take a single. Oh no, 2 runs. Just got a little distracted there.
Steal the seat.
No, you can't.
I can't. It's broken. Okay.
That's how generous I am with my seats, is that I bring broken seats for my co-commentators. Oh, this one is hooked right round. Man, underneath it, he's taken a great catch. Well, the ruckman just off balance there. Didn't look too pleasant. And he's gone 11 off 9, and another one down. Hayden Perks, the player down on the boundary there. And it's just not gone Stallions' way here, Pete.
It's not, but you know, as I said, I mean, it's a good warm-up. I mean, they're playing against some quality opposition here at Cox's Bay Reserve. As I said again, I'm sort of, I don't know who's watching which stream at the moment. I'm assuming that most people are watching yours, but I know that it's just a glorious, glorious afternoon here in Auckland.
Wide called out there. I've got 10 people viewing. Does it tell you how many people are viewing yours? I can't.
Not on this one, but
No.
this is sort of in the infancy, so we're
Yep.
looking at what we can do.
Mine is very basic itself, so especially when I come along with no camera person.
And I'm fully impressed with the setup that you've got here. I'm going to ask you some questions about where I might be able to locate that microphone, so I can do some work myself.
I've got to remember, it's been. I've had to cycle through a few of my gear actually. But pick things up from bits and bobs.
Up on the toes, just pushes that backward a point. I would really say with 2 overs to go, I really think I'd rather see the Farani just go after it here.
I think they're playing for the averages at the moment, aren't they?
Well, I kind of feel that way. I think that you're chasing more than 200. You really want to get. I'd go out swinging at this point.
It's just nothing really can do there though in that block hole. And Khan just picks up a single to go to 28. Farhan Ijaz on the other batsman on 5 off 3. And after 16 overs, 127 for 5. The one thing, Pete, I do like about Last Man Stands TV is that it has the score there automatically. I'm having to enter it in myself.
This is, who knows, mate? You do a good enough job with the commentary, you might get yourself a permanent gig sitting in the box room, commentating on these games from all around the world.
I'd like. This is why I set up the live stream, was to help achieve my dream, and I've been plugging away at Sky for a while now. Made it to the back of the commentary box for All Blacks Tonga actually in Hamilton.
Nice.
The last game before the World Cup. Brilliant experience that was.
Oh, straight
This
down
one
the
is
ground.
down and it will clear by just a metre.
Just into the crowd there, rolling up the hill.
And I was pulled into the dress rehearsal build-up show. Rehearsal for the build-up show. And I was Ali Williams to start with, and then when Ali turned up, I was Mills Molina. Ali did not like it. That,
Left arm over the wicket.
it's
got in.
top of the stumps, top of middle. And another great delivery sees the end of Shabazz Khan. 34 off 24 deliveries.
Shabazz going with some intent though, so I'm happy that he's at least thought, well, we're going to move it on.
Got to at least give it a go, don't we?
Absolutely. It's funny though when you get into that buzz of commentary. I mean, I was lucky in 2013 to get a couple of stints commentating for the final of the LMS World Championships, and I sat next to a professional commentator, and right now his name eludes me, but
Yep.
it was just brilliant. He would just feed you the questions and being able to just talk about the game that you love, which you quite obviously are quite passionate about. And
Oh,
love
very,
it,
mate.
You know.
But people say I'm passionate about a lot of sports. But cricket is definitely up there. I've also done the same with the next delivery is it's down towards third man.
Oh, slips in the
Slips
field.
over. I have been overseas 3 times in my life. No, 2 times, sorry. Both to Sydney and both for wheelchair rugby.
Yep. What an aggressive sport that is.
That is a
It
very
is
aggressive
crazy.
sport. Australia, unfortunately, the top country in the world at the
No,
moment.
that's not unfortunate at all. I love that. I love that.
Although the Japanese like to prove that wrong every now and then.
Wide called by the umpire there.
And so I've done a bit of commentating over in Australia with a guy called Jono Farr. And
Okay.
but that's also been a very good experience. And just to have someone with his level of experience and talent to help along.
Squeezed out there through backwards. Good. There should be 2 runs
So,
there.
yep,
Easy.
they're going to get there.
And they're.
I think,
short really aren't
chasing
aren't that
it.
concerned.
1:37 after 17. And going back to an earlier conversation about names, mixing up names, one of the worst things I've ever done was getting one of the New Zealand wheelbacks names mixed up in front of her cousin, who just happened to be the great Benji Marshall.
Wow.
And that was quite embarrassing.
I might be able to one up you there recently. In the last 4 weeks, I've not known who Centuriance was or who Peter Ingram was. So and proving how Australian I am. And when someone said to me, "Don't you know who that is?" and I went, "No."
I know the names, I can't think who they
I
are.
absolutely do. But when you're face to face with someone who's just saying, "Hey, g'day, my name is,"
Yep.
the bells and whistles didn't go off.
You want the ground just to open up, don't you?
I absolutely did. I absolutely did. And both those guys were lovely about it. Seth in particular, as I was telling him which change room the Stags were getting ready in. Oh, straight down the ground.
This one is
Miss.
caught
Will he
Mole
get that?
Chance. No! Oh. Eli's just having a bit of.
Oh!
Is there run out? Is there? No!
Oh,
Not given.
not given. Oh, he's gone to the big screen though. The
Yep.
umpire has just called it. Yes, we have got a number of cameras here. We probably don't have.
I'm giving it out from here. He's turned around and said it to us. Fortunately, we don't have that technology just here. It doesn't matter the sport I live stream, Pete, but everyone goes, is there the TMO? I was doing junior rugby champs a couple of months ago and they were talking about it and they go, hey look, I'm an ex-referee, if anyone's going to be the TMO it'll be me. I'll do the commentary, the camera, the live stream. If I have to do it, I'll do it all myself. Just got in there though.
So what you're saying is that at a wedding, don't give you a microphone?
Oh, this is good. Bumper, I tell you what, Eli's probably taken exception to him being dropped, to him dropping his own catch and that run out not being given.
Umpire has told him that that's one for the over. Next one over the shoulder would be a no ball. Oh, straight down the ground. Just squeeze that out. Just the one.
Yeah, the microphone in front of me is not generally a good idea. At things you want quick. 140 for 6. 2 overs left and 102 is required. Just a bit out of the reach.
All bets are off, I think.
Yeah, well, somebody was asking me, I think it might have been my previous co-commentator Kane Lindsay, if I was running a book.
Hold him.
Good on the batsman for trying to have a go though. That sees the end of Farani Taylor for 9. Good length delivery there from one of the court short bowlers. Who was it? Hayden Perks. I left my binoculars in the car actually. And we've got a last man stands, Pete.
We do indeed. Left arm over the wicket. Oh,
He's going to tune it down.
Now, for those of you, obviously, most of the people watching would know last man stands means that he can only score 2s, 4s, and 6s. I, for one, would love to see a whole bunch of 6s just now.
Yep.
You know.
I think the crowd would too. There's
Yeah.
still quite a good crowd, around.
Absolutely. Oh, and that's my phone.
And he's
Oh!
no, it's the crowd catch.
Crowd catch. Oh, that's my phone dead. So unfortunately, the other streaming is finished up, but
Oh, shot boy.
Well, when I wasn't quite sure how this is going to be another dot ball, if I was going to have power tonight, having a backup option is always good.
absolutely.
98 plus ducks.
And it'll be interesting to see how this Last Man Stands TV goes about.
98 plus ducks.
Here's the last ball of the penultimate over. Is slapped. It'll be for runs. And Cameron Eniat was actually the batsman out earlier. 3 off 5. Farani Ijaz moves on to 14 off 11. 1 over to go. And it's been a very good game so far. Dominant display though from the Court Short team.
Absolutely. But hometown advantage, know the conditions, got the support from the local followers. Right arm over the wicket now.
Mean Horst, oh yeah, he gets it through.
There's a little bit of Bruce Reeds about Eli, to be honest. Tall, lanky.
From memory, he does play Premier Cricket in Auckland. I was going to say Hamilton. Not everything's about Hamilton, Bevan. As the next one is high. Kane Story going round, takes it! And that is the end of the game.
Great work there, though, from both sides.
Great display. And sure is going to be very interesting to see what happens next week, Pete, with the World Series.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's some champion teams coming from all around the world. I'd like to see an Australian team win, obviously, our home championship. So,
can you say that with a Kiwi accent, though?
No, I've been told that I'm not allowed to do that. I at a training session last year, I accidentally said socks.
Yes.
And I didn't even know that I'd done it. It was the end of the season. I turned around and everyone in my team was going, "Are you serious? Mate, you cannot do a Kiwi accent." So I tried not to do it.
Well, in short, today, Court Short, they won the toss, batted first, posted 241 for 3 off their 20 overs. Dwayne Pitcher, the best of the batsmen, 53 off 19. The bowlers from the Stallions, Tanwa Sikanda, 2 for 56 off his 4. Stallions, they never really got going, and they were dismissed in the last over for 145. Pick of their batsman, Imran Kadir, 39 off 24, although Shabazz Khan helped in with 34 off 24. And as the bowling figures have just disappeared from me, pick of the bowlers there, Victor Davies for Court Short, 4 overs, 3 wickets for 25. And all in all, it's been a very good game. Thanks for tuning. Thanks to Pete for joining me in commentary for the
Thanks for
second
having
innings.
me, mate. It's been great fun again.
And thanks again to Kane Lindsay as well. My name is Bevan Jenkinson. Been great to have you wherever you have been tuning in. And good luck to all those teams competing at the World Champs in Sydney next week.